Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second semester of Anatomy and Physiology. So today we're going to be doing another quiz style video on the axial skeleton. So like I said, it's going to be a quiz style video. So I will point out the bony landmarks, number them. You can pause the video, answer the questions. We'll come back after I label each section, and then we'll go through them all together. So today we're going to be looking at the sacrum and the coccyx. Not super complicated, not a ton of landmarks to know, but make sure you guys have these down pat. So beginning with number one, we're going to start with this region right here, right at the top. That'll be number one. Then number two is going to be on the opposite side, on the bottom, this region right there. That'll be number two. Number three, we're going to be looking at this bony landmark that runs right down the middle. That will be number three. And then number four is going to be all these holes, and on this side as well. But all of those holes will be number four. So what are those called? And then finally, from this angle, we're going to label this landmark right here, right on the other side of these holes. So this will be number five. All right, so pause the video, answer what you know, and then we'll come back and go through them together. Okay, so number one, we're going to be looking at the base. So B for the base sacrum. Then this is the apex on the opposite side, similar to some other bones that we've seen. Number three is going to be your median crest. So median crest runs right down the middle. Number four is going to be your dorsal sacral foramina. So dorsal as in posterior side or the back side, thinking about like the dorsal fin of a dolphin. So dorsal fin, so backside, you'll find your dorsal sacral foramina. And foramina is just the plural of foramen. So foramina just means a bunch of tiny holes. And then number five, if this is the median crest, then this will be the lateral sacral crest. All right, so let's get a different angle and we'll do a couple more landmarks. Okay, so now we have a different angle here of the sacrum and the coccyx. So let's continue. All right, so for number six, we're going to be looking at this region right here. That surface will be number six. Number seven is going to be a little hard to tell, but it's going to be this region right here, more posterior and superior to this landmark. So this will be number seven. And then number eight is going to be this guy right here. Number eight. And just so you know, each of these landmarks are symmetrical. So if you go and look on the other side, you can find them as well. And so as you answer these, just to point out, here's another view of your median crest. And then here are your dorsal foramina once again. All right, so let's go through. So number six is going to be your auricular surface. So if that name sounds familiar, which it should, you'll remember your auricular surface on the os coxa. So this is this auricular surface and the other auricular surface actually connect to one another and create a joint, which is then going to create your whole pelvis. So for number 7, we will be looking at the sacral tuberosity. Like I said, it's a little hard to tell on visible body because if you use the bony landmark tool, it doesn't really highlight this section as the sacral tuberosity, but you still have to know it. So it's going to be posterior and superior to the auricular surface. All right, and then for number 8, we're going to be looking at the inferior lateral angles. So this guy right here. And then if we clear this drawing real quick and move this around, we can see that on this side you have your inferior lateral angle, and then again you have another inferior lateral angle. And like I said, they're all symmetrical. So here's the auricular surface on this side and the sacral tuberosity on this side as well. All right, so let's get another angle and we'll do some more. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at the anterior side of your sacrum and coccyx, and we're going to be looking at 2 more bony landmarks. So first, number 9, I believe, we will be looking at these holes right here. So just like I pointed out on the other side, or the posterior side, we're now going to be looking at those holes from this side, the anterior side. So what are those called? All right, and then number 10 is going to be these lines that I'm drawing in. So all of those lines, again, a little hard to find on visible body, but another landmark that you will be required to know. So what are those called? And we'll go back and go through them. All right, so number 9. Number 9, we're going to be looking at our ventral or anterior sacral foramina. So like we said on the other side, we're looking at the dorsal side or the posterior side. We called those our dorsal sacral foramina. Now on the ventral or anterior side, we're going to be looking at the ventral sacral foramina. And then for number 10, these lines that I drew in, their name is a little self-explanatory. They're just called the transverse lines. And these run right in between the ventral sacral foramina, as you can see. All right, so we'll get another angle and come back and do a couple more. Okay, so now we have a different angle here. We're looking at more of a top-down look of our sacrum and coccyx down here. So this would be the superior side, and down here would be inferior. So we're really only going to be looking at one landmark from this angle, and it's going to be this hole right here that goes all the way down and exits towards the coccyx there. So what is that called? And I believe this is number 11. And just for reference, this region right here is going to be the base, just from a different angle. All right, so for number 11, this is going to be our sacral canal. So just like we saw with our vertebrae, each of our vertebrae stack on top of each other, creating a kind of a little canal for the spinal cord to travel down through. And this is a continuation of that. So your spinal cord is going to travel down through the sacral canal and kind of end towards, or branch off towards the coccyx. All All right. So that is pretty much everything that you need to know, um, at least regarding the sacrum. With the coccyx, you don't really need to know many specific landmarks. Just know that this right here is the coccyx. Here, I'll annotate it. This right here is the coccyx. It is made up of the last four vertebrae, and they're all fused together. So here's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 at the bottom right there. So these last four are all fused together, and it is the coccyx. Okay, so those were your bony landmarks of the sacrum and coccyx. If you have any questions, feel free to email any of the TAs. We're all available to help out. So yeah, get studying and good luck.